All right, we're back in the Rusty Beauty shop. We're back working on the 94 YJ Wrangler Renegade, and we're just taking a look at the springs here and trying to figure out which are the front and which are the rear. And we figured out so far that the rear springs are the 5-leaf and the front springs are the 4-leaf. So there's the old versus new. So I guess the next step is to put them on the Jeep.
Hey, that's my line.
I thought we were working on the GT6 today.
So while some of us are working, some of us are helping.
Can somebody give me a beer or something? I brought my bed.
He brought even his bed. Well, the Coke is in the fridge. I'm gonna go bring it.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, so we pulled out the rest of the parts here that came with the kit, and we determined that there's 4 U-bolts that are a little bit different than the other 4. So these are all the same, and they are all 275 inches wide, where these are 3.5 and these are 2.5. So these are for the front. I went and I checked. On the front we have 2 wide ones and 2 narrow ones, so these are gonna go for the front later. We have the bushings for the front. We have 4 bushings here for the front end of the rear springs. We don't have the bushings for the rear end of the rear springs. They're gonna come, I don't know when. So for now we're just gonna assemble them without bushings. We're gonna put them in the shackles. We have from Tabu Customs a shackle bushings kit, but that's only for the top end of the shackle. For the bottom end where the spring eye goes, these bushings we don't have. These are the original shackle bolts. I cleaned them up, we're gonna reuse them, but for the front end of the spring where we cut the bolts, I bought these bolts. So we need 2. The other 2 we go for the front, because I'm pretty sure that we're gonna have to cut those as well, but we shall see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one of my rear springs. This is a front, we're gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna drag the other one, the other rear one from there, and then we can start assembling. All right, I had to remove the shocks. You know, I had them there temporarily, but I removed them when I was painting underneath. So now David had the idea to compress them this way with these 3 expensive zip ties.
But we're going to make sure that we don't cut the zip tie off, because we want to reutilize the zip tie.
We want to reuse it. These are expensive, man. What are you cooking?
I'm cooking some bushings. Oh, and I'm happy to say that we saved 2 of the zip ties.
So we needed 3 per shock, right?
Yeah.
But we used 4, and out of the 4 we saved 2.
Well, it's 50%, right?
Yeah. We worked efficiently.
So we saved 50 cents.
One step at a time. Okay, so he's installing the front bushing. So these are the front. For the back we said we don't have them. So here we're just gonna use these temporarily so we don't screw up the bolts. And that's how we're gonna assemble it. And then when my bushings come, I'm just gonna install only the bushing, and we're gonna be done with the rear suspension.
And you put your shocks in.
And yeah, the shocks are already in.
You know, like so a little big shock forward, and put that thing together, put it and try to make it.
Well, the axle's not go forward.
Yeah.
Lift it, see what it was.
Ah, this is where we're gonna get.
Where's your hanger for the rear?
It's there, man. Okay, let's do the hanger first. You're right.
Okay. Although I think your little hand's gonna have to get up in here, though. Maybe not.
The nuts.
Nut on the inside, I guess, yeah. So it can come forward enough. Alright.
Alright, and now I can install the U-bolts here. I'm gonna have to.
The axle's gotta go forward.
The axle gotta go forward. And
yeah, you're right. Almost. Where's the plate? Okay. Can probably have been waiting for you. Okay, that's getting closer now.
Which way does it need to go?
I don't know, it's pretty close. I think it's got to go back towards you. Yeah. Yeah, it won't even fit.
This didn't fit in that.
In the bolt hole location, like, doesn't this fit like this though, right?
No, the other.
Oh, sorry, it's like this?
Yeah.
But it's not even fitting up through the
Okay.
through the nut.
So we have to make this.
You can
bigger.
check it.
No, I can see.
Yeah.
Okay, so we opened up that hole, and we opened up this hole. Now it can go in, and it can spin because we don't know in which direction that is. And in the meantime, Mr. Tash here
I've given up.
is still fighting with his coke.
Like a volcano.
Alright, so this one is installed. We managed to fit everything here together, which is perfect. The only part that is missing here is the rear bushing. Alright, the second spring is in. It went in much easier because we already had practice. The only thing that's missing is the bushing over there. That's fine. I think the next thing to do is, because we have to go to the front, but it's not very convenient to work over there, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all the four wheels and we're gonna drive it around, and we're gonna bring it back in with the front this way so we can work easier. We don't have brakes, but who needs brakes, right? Wow, we even went for a drive. Let's see the rear end. Looks fantastic. The thing is, I never measured how high it was before, so supposedly now it's 2.5 inches higher, but I don't know. We're gonna work on the front suspension now, and we're gonna go from there. Now we have a lot of room here.
You finally got a chance to get it out in the snow.
Yeah. Who said I wasn't gonna drive it in the winter? It's still winter outside. Alright, so that was the main reason why I didn't want to take apart the front suspension, because I wanted to assemble the rear one and be able to drive it around and flip the car around. So now we can work on the front suspension. So there's a lot of work here. We have to take it apart, clean the frame, paint it, and then change the springs. So we'll see when that's gonna happen, but we can start at least. Alright, so we have the front end jacked up. The two jack stands are supporting the whole weight of the car. The two over there are supporting only the axle. And now what we think the plan is, plans always change, you know, but for now the plan is to remove the stabilizer link, I think it's called, for the sway bar from the bottom. Then we're gonna remove the steering box from here. We're gonna do the same on this side, and we're gonna remove the whole sway bar. I have new bushings for it, and I have to fix this bracket which is broken here. So once we get rid of that, then we're gonna try to remove the springs. So we have U-bolts here, and we have the same bolts at the back that are gonna give us troubles, I guess. But we will see about that. And we're gonna get rid of the springs, we're gonna get rid of the shocks, and then I'm gonna be able to clean up and paint this front end of the frame. I don't know about this axle. I know I painted the rear one, but this one, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna clean it and paint it. That's another story. I'm gonna just ignore this for now, the ball joints. I'm just hoping that they're good, but they can always be changed in after. I just wanna make sure that the suspension is rebuilt and we can drive the car, and then if the ball joints need to be changed, I can change them later. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to order the stabilizer link bushings that I don't have, but yeah, anyways, that's the plan. We'll see how close we're gonna follow it, or we're gonna have to change something. Oh, and while we are here, we're gonna change also the brake lines here at the front as well. All right, so the sway bar is out together with the links. Came out pretty easy. The U-bolts are out on this side. This came out pretty easy, actually. Hit me a little bit. Hit David a little bit. It's fine. Only this bolt here is, again, like on the rear springs, the bolt is seized inside the bushing, so I'm gonna have to cut it. This one is out. We cut the bolt, and now here we only have the shocks, but I can do the shock later. For now, let it be there, just for safety, to hold the axle if something happens to the jack stand. And we're gonna do the same on the other side. Hopefully it's gonna be that easy too. Okay, this one came out easier. We actually didn't need to cut this bolt. It came out with a little bit of fight, but came out. Wasn't that hard. And now the only thing is the shocks, and we're gonna stop disassembling there. Actually, the bump stops need to come out too, and also this rubber whatever cover needs to come out, so I have more access to the frame. And then what's left is to start cleaning and painting. Exciting. All right, it's another day, and yesterday, thanks to Dave, we made a pretty good progress actually. I was expecting to be at this stage a little bit further in the week, but thanks to David, we are here already. It's always good to have an extra set of hands in the garage. So today I don't have much time actually. It is pretty late in the afternoon and I have to be somewhere tonight. So I just came out in the garage for a very quick power hour. I'm just gonna clean the frame in the front where it still needs to be cleaned, behind the shocks, for example, and places where I couldn't reach before when I had the springs in. And I'm gonna just very quickly needle scale here and there, and then I'm gonna rust convert, and that's gonna be it for today. But at least for tomorrow, when I come back after work, it's gonna be ready for paint. So I'm not gonna hold you here, I'm just gonna show you when I have some results. Okay, the frame is cleaned up. There wasn't much to be cleaned actually, because I cleaned it before. Just few areas needed to be finished. So it's cleaned up, and now I rust converted it. I mean, I applied rust converter. It's gonna take its time to rust convert actually, but we're gonna leave it alone. And there are a few parts here that need to be cleaned, and I'm gonna leave them alone for now too. There's another one over there, the steering box bracket. We need to take out this bracket for the sway bar and repair it or replace it. The front axle is not gonna get the same treatment as the rear axle, guys. I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. So the front axle is gonna remain as is. I'm just gonna remove the track bar, but the sway bar, since it's out, I might actually paint. I'm not gonna take it apart yet because I'm gonna see if I can order the bushings, because these need to be changed. I looked at the bow joints and the tie rod ends. They are pretty good. So these don't need to be changed, but these definitely need to be changed. So I'm gonna try and order these, but for now I'm not gonna take it apart, because if they don't come anytime soon, I will just assemble it as is, and I'm gonna change them when they arrive. All right, so I don't know about where you are, but where I am, it's tomorrow already. So we can start working again. So you can see that the rust converter already has a nice effect on our frame. So now we can actually start painting it. Well, before we start painting it, actually, I'm gonna probably remove the brake lines from inside here. Somewhere here, this brake line is held. We're gonna remove that. On the other side, we're gonna have to pull out this air cleaner box, so we can have a little bit more access there to the actual brake line. I showed you how it works. The line for the right wheel goes from here all the way down along the frame, and then it comes out here, and then it goes around the grill and then reaches this flexible brake line here. So we're gonna remove this, and then we're gonna start painting the frame. For the sway bar links, I ordered new ones because I looked for bushings and I couldn't find bushings only, so I ordered the whole links, and they come with bushings. So when they come, we're gonna be able to assemble the sway bar as well. For those little bushings that I'm still waiting from the kit, they are trapped somewhere in the States and sitting there for 5 days already, and I'm getting frustrated. Eventually they're gonna come at some point and we're gonna install them, and we're gonna be pretty close to driving this car. All right, so I was able to take out this screw from here that was holding this end of the brake line over there, and it didn't snap, which is a good thing. And there was a little bit more rust there that I didn't put rust converter on, so I just put a little bit there. And I took out the air cleaner box, and that opened a little bit more space here. And now I have the same screw like over there, and we're gonna attempt to remove that as well. And we have to rust convert this as well. Here I couldn't reach before. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna be able to take this front brake line out in one piece, so I'm gonna cut it. Now I have to do the smart thing here though. I don't want to cut it in the middle. I think I'm gonna cut it right here, because this part is pretty straight. It took 90 degrees and goes there, and that's it. So I'm gonna be able to pull it out. Here is where I'm not gonna be able to pull out this in one piece, because it goes here 90 degrees in and then 90 degrees up. So if I cut it here, I probably am gonna be able to take this piece out this way and this piece out this way, and then we're gonna bend new lines to match this, and we're gonna make a union right here. Okay, it sounds like a plan. I'm always happy when there is a plan. Never mind. I just took it out in one piece. I don't know. I'm more stubborn animal than myself. I think as long as the steering box is not attached, it can go in and out. So if I try to install the steering box before I put the brake line, remind me that I have to put the brake line in first. Anyways, it's out. Right, the brake lines are out, the front ones. I even took the short one here for the left wheel. But the problem is here, this screw now doesn't want to come out, and it's driving me crazy. I even removed this bracket that's holding the air cleaner box. Now I have a pretty good access to it, and I'm still having trouble. So I'm gonna keep fighting with it here for a while. All right, it's out. But believe me, I'm not touching it in the next 15 minutes. It's hot. Yeah, the propane torch convinced it. Okay, the frame is partially painted where I could reach here, and I started painting outside this side, but I ran out of paint. Somehow I thought that I had 2 more cans of easy liner, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to make a run to the store tomorrow. Luckily, after the lockdown now in my area, the stores are open and I can go and buy whatever I need. I wanted to paint everything tonight so it can dry till tomorrow and I can work, but that's not gonna happen. But anyways, I have more of the internal frame coating, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spray inside everywhere where I can. I have 1 more can of these, so that's gonna be enough. We're gonna paint the frame inside and we're gonna leave the rest for tomorrow. At least I'm lucky that the brake line is out. This is the long one and this is the shorter one. has a weird shape. So I can make these, and once the frame is painted, I can put these back. And I think on Thursday maybe I'm gonna ask David to come and help me again if he's available, of course. And we're gonna be able to assemble the front suspension. But yeah, I can get everything ready before that with the brakes and the frame and everything. And then on Thursday we hopefully might be taking it for a test drive. I don't know if you see all the dust here, but it is dusty. And it is dusty because I just cleaned all these parts. I wire wheeled them, cleaned all this bar as well. That's the front bumper, which has been reinforced already. Actually, I didn't notice that before, but it's been reinforced with, what is that? It's like 1/4 inch flat stock, so it is pretty heavy. That's good. All these parts are cleaned up with the wire wheel. And oh, these channels I have to clean. These are the covers for the brake line. And I painted the frame. That's how I started actually this morning. I got some more of the easy liner and I painted the frame, but it's now covered with rusty. So it's not black anymore, it's brownish, but that's not important. It's important that it is protected from the rust. Last night we painted it inside, so we're ready to go here. Now I'm gonna rust convert these, and later today I'm gonna prime them and paint them, and they're gonna be ready to go. The sway bar is clean. I didn't clean these because the links, like I told you, I ordered new ones, so they are coming. I'm just gonna take these out so I can clean here the end of the sway bar and paint it. Here is one of the brackets that is snapped for the sway bar bushings, so we have to make a new one. This one is pretty good, so we're gonna keep this one, but this one we have to make a new one. And if we have time today, which I'm hoping we will, we're gonna start making new brake lines for the front, like this one and this one. So we have our hands full here, but that's okay because this week I'm off from work. We finished 2 big projects at work and now I was able to take a week off, so that's great. I'm gonna spend this week in the garage. My kids are all at home, but they are going to online school all day, so they are busy. My girlfriend is home, but she's also working from home, so she's busy. And that gives me the great opportunity to work on the Jeep a little bit harder this week. And hopefully next week, when it's time to go to work, I can drive to work with the Jeep. I don't know, maybe not. All right, and this is for yours and mine reference, how they go, because if I take them out I might forget. So they are not straight, they go a little bit out. So this is up and out, and this bend goes towards the back, towards the axle. That I remember before I took them out. And this is the same, it goes out and the bend goes down towards the axle. So actually that's how they are. That's how it goes. This is front, this is back, this is up, and this goes out, and this supposedly goes out, but it looks like it's been bent or something. No, the bushing is not, the bushing is worn crooked. That's how it's supposed to be. So it's gonna go out, right? Okay, if I forget, you remind me, thank you. Well, that's great, but we have a small problem here. They just don't want to budge. They don't come out, the bolts. I guess they're wedged in, and I tapped them gently here with the hammer, but I don't want to damage the nut or the bolt, so I didn't want to hit them too hard. So it looks like we have a job for our new press. The thing is, with my press, I don't have any gadgets here, so I have to improvise. And I found this shackle tube that I cut off, or that fell off my frame. So we're gonna use this. It fits just around, I cut the bushing here, so it fits just around the head of the boat. We're gonna put it here, and let's see what happens. Whoa. There you go. It's nice to have a press. Thanks, Eugene. Okay, I got most of these parts painted. They're looking good. There's only one part that I didn't paint, and that's the mount for the steering box. And I'm gonna paint it a little bit later because I wanna use it now as a template for this broken part that I need to make. And you see, it is not flat. It is, one of the arms is a little bit longer, not like the other one. The other one over there, like this one, is perfectly flat, but this one is different. So I have this piece of steel here, and I pulled out the bushings because I need to fit them there. And guess what I found in the box? I found this. They actually come with the stabilizer link bushings. So I'm an idiot. But anyways, guys, I think it was a good thing that I ordered new links, because these don't look very well inside. I tried to clean this up as best as I could, but in the worst case scenario I was gonna use them. But it's a good thing that I will have new links, because these, like, I know they need to be bent here and there, but I'm not sure if they are actually bent the proper way. Looks like this one has a bent right in the middle, where this one doesn't have it. So we will see when the new ones arrived. We will see what they look like, and we're gonna figure out if these are good or not, but I think these are bad. Anyways, just wanted to let you know that I'm an idiot. So this is how this fits, and as you can see here, I'm actually missing some part. Of course, this needs to be a little bit shorter, so there's room for the bolt to compress this down. Anyways, I'm gonna make a new one, and we will see what it looks like. Okay, so this is how it fits. It has just a little bit of room here and here to compress down. I'm happy. So we're gonna cut it here, and we're gonna drill the holes, and we're gonna be done. It's not going anywhere. All right, so we can paint the last two parts and then finally get to the brakes. But before we start dealing with the brakes, I suggest that we do one thing, and that is to put an end of this video here. I'm sorry, but I think the video is way too long, and we should cut it here, and we're gonna continue with the brakes in the next one. Everything here looks nice so far, and I'm looking forward to the next video. I'm sure you are too. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for commenting, subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.